Cyberpunk 2077. How do I even start this one? Hey everyone, how you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be doing a review for the video game Cyberpunk 2077. Now this game is on PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5 I guess, Xbox Series X, but it's the backwards compatibility version. And this is going to be a very fun one. Before I get on with the video, this video will be split into three parts. So the first part will be non-spoilers. The second part, I'll talk about CD Projekt Red and the whole fiasco about it, because I haven't talked about that in my channel yet, and I was just waiting to do it in the review. And the third part will be spoilers. So if you are a person who doesn't want to be spoiled and you want to see the controversy bit, you can skip to that. I'm going to have time stamps, so you could just skip to whichever one you want. But yeah, that's how I'm going to do this video. So let's start off with the game. So Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG. It's an action RPG, but mainly more of an RPG. So, okay, let's say it's an RPG, right? And you are a character called V, who could be male, you could be female, and you're in this futuristic Blade Runner-esque type world. And what happens is that you pick either three life paths, which is Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo, and you start off the game as one of them, but at the main meat of the game is that you're going to do this job to hijack a very important product from this big corporation, and it all goes south. And because of that, you have this I don't want to spoil the game, but you have something that happens to you and your body, which allows you to get Keanu Reeves' character to be by your side. Now that part, because of Keanu Reeves being by your side, it affects you in a way that you have to try and solve that problem. And that's pretty much the gist of this game. Now, what do I think about this game? I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm not going to lie to you, right? When I first came into Cyberpunk 2077, I was expecting a masterpiece, because this is CD Projekt Red, the guys who did Witcher 3. And Witcher 3 is a masterpiece. Let's not lie. It's one of the best games ever made. Like, I don't know if anyone could argue that. You can, but I just think so. It's just so much good in that game. So with a team that did that, right, even though, let's be real, it's their third or fourth game they've ever made, but still, after Witcher 3 and the amount of love and care they put into that game, I was expecting the exact same effort for Cyberpunk, and it seems like they kind of did and kind of didn't have that in this game. I'm not even gonna lie. So first, let me just start with the positives before I even get to the negatives, because I can go a while for the negatives, but the positives are the game, right? The characters are awesome. The characters are actually awesome. I like the characters. They're not like characters that will be that memorable. Like, in all honesty, like, you know how you go back to GTA 5, you think, oh, Trevor. You go to Ghost of Tsushima, you think, oh, Jin Sakai. You go to Last of Us 3, Ellie. I don't think there's going to be a person like that. Maybe Johnny Silverhand, but I kind of doubt it, because we know Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves. We love Keanu Reeves, not really Johnny Silverhand. You know what I mean? So, but even though I'd say that Johnny Silverhand is the best character in the game, there's also another girl character that I found in the game. I don't know if it's spoilers or not to mention her, but in one of the missions, she's a prominent figure in one of the missions, and I really, really like that character. Actually, I think it's not a spoiler. So Panem and Johnny Silverhand are the best characters in the game. V is okay. As an avatar, he's okay. And I get why he's the way he is, because this is not Witcher 3 where you're playing as Geralt. Geralt's already a guy with his own personality and all that. This is V, and V is meant to be integrated into him. Basically, he's meant to be your character. But that's another problem I have with it, because I'll get to that in the problem section. But anyway, the characters are great and you'll like them. There's some really memorable ones, and that's really good about that. The combat can be fun. Like, I have problems with the combat, but the combat, right, is actually fun. Like, a lot of people are saying it's janky and wonky, and it is. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll get to that in the con section in a bit. But when you're in it, it's actually fun. Well, in the beginning stages. This sounds like a negative, but it's a positive. Night City is beautiful. I'll admit that Night City is actually gorgeous. Like, I love everything about it. I love the fact you can go to different areas and you can explore that, and it's just even more to see of Night City. But yet again, I have a con about that. It seems like every positive I have a con about, but Yeah, apart from that, the music, okay, the music, right? The music is top tier. Both the OST and the actual like soundtrack by artists is fire. Like that is ridiculously good. Like that got me immersed in the game, I'm not gonna lie. The first person aspect is cool as well. I see what they were going for, and to be fair, when it works, it works. So, actually, no. To be fair, the first-person aspect does work in the game. Like, what you do get immersed into this world. Other than that, I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, that's about it. Like, some of the missions are cool. Okay, some of the side quests. Okay, side quests. Some of the side quests are really good. They're not to the level of Witcher 3, and I've seen a lot of games do side quests a lot better. But some of the side quests are actually banging, and they're really, really like in depth, so you get a full story in those side quests. And actually the side quests, some of them are actually just really super side questy, like basically kind of just there. They're not that great. Some of them, right, are really integrated in the story, and it actually makes a difference to your ending. So that is really dope. And that's okay. Let's go to the cons section, because this is where I need to start going with cons, because I feel like every time I just feel like I need to say a con, because those are pretty much all the pros, and those are done pretty well. And actually, one last thing, the story surprisingly, right, is very good. It's a very good story. See, I was just about to say a con, but the beginning and the end of the story, when you play it, even though the ending differs per person, but the beginning and the end of the story I thought was really, really well done. Like really well done. Like the beginning part is awesome. You get into it, even though there's something that's there that's not that great. Okay, screw it. I'm gonna go to the cons right now. All right, this is gonna look a little weird because I was in one setup and now I'm in the other. But guess what happened to my cons list of Cyberpunk 2077? The frame was out of focus. And it went on for literally all of the cons and even the review score. And originally I was thinking, okay, maybe I should post it, but it was so bad. I can't do that to you guys. So here I am re-recording the cons bit and the final score, not even remembering most of it. Okay, actually no, I remember the cons, like what I thought of the game. But anyway, let's just get into it. This is not going to be edited. I'm going to try and do this like in one take, so wish me luck. So cons of Cyberpunk 2077. There are a lot of them, right? And let's start with the story, because I remember I ended, I believe, with the story, right? The story is good, yeah, at the beginning and at the end, even though there's a problem with the beginning. Like I believe, I don't know if I said this or not, but in the beginning, when you pick your life path, you're not in that life path area for long, so you don't really get to enjoy what you're doing in that life path, if that makes sense. So in the nomad area, while I was a nomad, I was in the Badlands for like less than 30 minutes, and then like I just legit, like the job that took me out of the Badlands took me straight out of the Badlands, and I pretty much never went back until like one of the main missions later, which is kind of weird because I thought a life path was meant to, you know, dictate your life. Like I thought I was going to see V's past. I thought I was going to see all like the not culture, but basically kind of the culture around being a nomad. So I thought Street Kid would be the same, like you'd start the game. I'm not playing Street Kid or Corpo, but my assumption is, okay, well, before playing the game, is that, okay, you go to Street Kid, you see all your friends, you high-five them, you're like, all right, I know this guy, I know that guy, okay, cool, let's start the game with that. And then Corpo, maybe you do like a couple missions in the corporation and then realize, oh man, I hate these corporation dudes, and then become the Night City V. That's what I thought, but it seems like it's not the case, and especially with the Nomad, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the same with Corpo and Street Kid, but from what I understand, it probably isn't. And that's a shame, because like I said, this has the depth of is the same company that did Witcher 3, which has depth like that. So it's a bit of a shame in terms of that. Then the RPG mechanics and two parts of the RPG, because to me an RPG is reliant on two things. One could be better than the other and make the game better, but in my opinion, an RPG has to have a very good story, right? And really good like upgradable mechanics and choices, basically, because it's a role-playing game. That's the point. You're meant to make choices. And it's weird because for an RPG, this seems very like limited, and it's not an action RPG. Like if it was an action RPG, I'll completely understand. I'll be like, all right, cool, it's an action RPG, the action is the main point. But no, this is an actual legit RPG. Like, yeah, the action is there and is very like Fallout-esque, but this is an RPG. The whole point is to make choices, and the choices aren't great. When you select a dialogue choice, most of the time it's just sometimes they'll give you some choices, especially towards the end. They gave loads of choices at the end. That's why I said the end was fire. But in the beginning, right, most of the time they'll say, okay, here's the choice, and then they'll give you 2 lines of blue lines, and then most of the time it's just exposition. And I don't mind exposition because I don't mind hearing more about Night City, but it's not, how to explain it, it's not enhancing my personal story, it's just enhancing Night City. You're giving all this depth to Night City, cool, but give me depth to my story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let me role play the world. And I don't feel like I role played the world like that, and it hit me like halfway through the game that I'm not, for an RPG, this is not very RPG-esque, if that makes sense. Except, like, it just felt like another, it feels harsh to say this, like you know GTA at the end where you always make a choice about who to do what to or how your story will go. It felt like that, basically. It didn't feel like a Witcher 3 developer made an RPG. You know what I mean? Which is weird, because Witcher 3 had a lot of choices, like a lot, and it dictated a lot of your story. So I don't know why they went to that route to make this linear, especially how Witcher 3, right? Witcher 3 is Geralt's story. And Geralt's story had a lot of choices, but they didn't incorporate that into a story where you create your character. This is your your personal story in a world that's very diverse, right? And I'm confused why that wouldn't have way more choices than Witcher. Am I the only one that feels this way? I don't know. It feels harsh. It might be harsh, but I feel like as an RPG mechanic, it's not great. It makes the game like really good, but not an amazing RPG. Let me not lie. Also, the upgraded mechanics, they're just stat boosts, and they're not that useful. Like, the only thing I could think that might enhance your character, like change up your character, is cyberware. That's it. Because in terms of what you can upgrade in your body, well, in your stat tree, you have body, intelligence, all that. All it does, it gives you access to more things that you probably wouldn't have had, and most of the time you could always find a workaround around it. So it's not that deep. You're not really missing out if you miss out on a path, or not really a path, a choice. Well, it's not even a choice. It's just an extra unlockable dialogue or an extra unlockable way to get into a place. You don't miss much because there's always a way to get around that place, and that dialogue is exposition. It doesn't enhance V. So unless you really want to know like the whole book about Cyberpunk 2077's world, Night City, it's not going to matter too much to you. And that's a bit of a shame because, you know, it would have made replayability a bit more like, what's the word? Enticing, if that made sense. And so anyway, that's just what it does. And also it enhances yourself in terms of stat boosts. That's pretty much it. Like, it just improves your stats. There's not really any time where I felt a significant upgrade with my character, and I upgraded my character a lot. And speaking of upgrading my character, yeah, I'll get to guns in a bit, but combat, even though I say it's fun, yeah, I would say that the concept of it is fun. The mechanics of it is wonky. That's the word. The mechanics is wonky. Because I remember I shot a guy, right, with a sniper in the head 4 times. 4 times with a sniper in the head. It took him that long to die. That doesn't make sense. Like, a lot of things doesn't make sense in terms of his AI and his combat. The AI, right, is either really trash or really powerful. Like, once in a while, right, the AI will just not do much, or if they're not glitching out, by the way, they won't like, they're not smart enough. Like, I would come in with a blade, run down all kamikaze style, I believe that's what you say, I don't know, but all gung-ho, right? And these guys, how are they not killing me on sight? Like, I would see a bunch of them and they're not killing me. Like, the only times when I didn't use a blade to fight them was like when I would see like 15. That's when I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, this is a little much. Like, of course, I'm going to die here. And even at times like that, sometimes I'm like, oh, screw it. Let's give it a try. And sometimes it'll work. And it's weird that I can go through this game so easily with a blade. I wanted more of a challenge, and the AI doesn't give me that. The combat doesn't give me that. And it's just such a shame. Because I thought I'd expect more. I mean, okay, yeah, it's an RPG, so I'll give them benefit of the doubt. But if the RPG mechanics aren't that good, at least the combat should be that good, and it's not. So because at the beginning of the game, right, I felt powerful, and I was like, all right, cool, this is awesome, this is fun, this is crazy. Like, I'm killing loads of people. Wow, this is crazy. But after a while, I just felt like, okay, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel that enjoyment and enticement anymore. Like, that towards the end of the game, I just wanted to get to the end of the game. Like, I would actually skip some combat, or I'll just go through combat very quickly in order to get to the end, to the story part. That's how like not that fun it is, which is such a shame because the mechanic, not the mechanic, the concept's all there. Like it's all there to have fun. Speaking of that, there's more. Stealth, right? This goes back to the upgrade mechanics. So there's this thing that you can upgrade. I think it's cool that upgrades your stealth or intelligence or technical ability, one of them, right? To upgrade your stealth and hacking. So one of the things that CD Projekt promoted was that you can play your play style anytime you want. You can how you want basically. You can go in gung ho and try and kill everybody, which I did. But like I said, I wish it was a bit more of a challenge. Or you could be a stealthy netrunner. Well, a netrunner is a person who's a hacker, so kind of like Watch Dogs-esque. And stealth is so pointless in this game, and so is hacking. Like, stealth and hacking are actually very pointless. Like, I came into this game, right, wanting to be a ninja-esque cyberpunk character. I wanted to use my blade, number one, and just stab people on the back, Ghost of Tsushima style, Assassin's Creed style. And then also, I wanted to sneak around and just drop bodies. And then also, I wanted to just hack things so that people wouldn't know I was even there. That's what I wanted to do. But it was so pointless because in terms of hacking, number one, the only thing that actually makes a significant impact is when you turn off cameras. That's it. If you hack someone and you short circuit them, or I guess memory wipe as well in concept, but by the time I'll get to that in a bit with the stealth section, but you hack, legit hacking cameras is the only thing that's useful for hacking. Other than that, it's kind of pointless because it doesn't really do that much. And then if you hack someone to short circuit them, they'll turn around and be like, hey, who did that? And find you in seconds. I guess it's a cyberpunk world, but come on, how are they tracking me? Like, if I can hide behind someone and they won't know me, it makes no sense how they can track me instantly. I don't get it. But with the stealth, right? The stealth is kind of pointless because you will stealth like a bunch of enemies, right? And you can kill them, right? Even though sometimes it's not that easy to stealth them because they'll notice you and find you. And once you're locked on for good. There's no running back to hide and they won't find you again. No. You're locked on for good. Especially in combat, you're locked on for good. And it's weird because, what was my point again? Yeah, so it's stealth, right? You stealth kill a bunch of enemies. By the time you're like halfway through, you realize, what's the point? Like, these guys are not hard to beat. Let me just go in and gung-ho them. And you do, and it makes the thing quicker. And like I said, the stealth isn't that fun. It's not that fun. It's not like you have that many options because the hacking isn't that great. So it's like, okay, so what's the point of me going stealth? What's the point? Like, every time I started a mission, after a while, I just went stealth for like a tiny bit and then just killed everybody. Or sometimes I'll just run in and be like, screw it. They'll tell me, oh, sneak around. You have to be quiet because if not, you'll kill you. I'll just run in guns blazing and win the battle. Like, stealth is so pointless. It's so annoying. Oh man. And then guns, right? Guns are cool. I like the guns, but they don't make that much of a difference in terms of upgrades, which is just like, there's just a lot of upgradable stuff that just doesn't make that much of a difference. Even crafting, I guess, is okay, but it's not that great. It's such a shame because I believe the RPG mechanics aren't that great in terms of not just upgrades, but also in terms of player choice. I would have expected more. And granted, maybe I'm being a bit harsh here, but I feel like for an RPG of CD Projekt Red's quality, there should be like some significant upgrades or some significant story, one or the other, and neither was that. So, yeah. And in terms of the story is great. Actually, no, it's just very good. It's not that great. Like, other people's stories are interesting in the world. I'll give them credit to that. Like, the side quests are pretty cool, pretty dope and pretty in depth, but and they do impact the story, which is really good. But I feel like the main story, the only thing I cared about was Johnny Silverhand and me. I didn't care about anything else. I don't know if that was the point. If it was, then maybe what I'm talking is rubbish. But if it wasn't, then I'm a bit annoyed because the actual story itself wasn't great. In all honesty, it was okay. Like, it was just there. And yeah, like I said, for a game like CD Projekt Red that's made like Witcher 3, I expected the story to be more. But that's just my opinion. No themes, no emotional impact, no. Well, okay, there was some emotional impact. It was just one to do with one of the characters, and I'll just say the aftermath scene of him, which was really, really good. Other than that, nothing. It's just such a shame. And also, okay, I haven't even gone to the worst part of it, which is the technical difficulties. Okay, let's talk about that. The technical difficulties ruined a lot of my experience in this game, which is such a shame because Night City, right, when it works, it's actually beautiful. One of the best open worlds I've ever seen and been in, even though they promised us we could go into like legit every floor. You can't, but you could go to some flaws of these high-rise buildings, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Night City is still one of the best open worlds I've ever seen. But the problem I had is that the textures wouldn't load quick enough, and I have a PS5. I had a lot of problems with loading Night City on my PS5. I'll give credit, right, to CD Projekt Red. This is the PS4 version, which had problems. But it's weird because, like, every time I look at Night City with awe, the textures would tell me otherwise. And I found this, I don't know if I was the only one, but to me, Night City looked very grainy. And I turned off the film grain, by the way. So, and I turned off HDR too. I had to turn off a lot of settings and then turn it back on to make sure I'm not being crazy here. But it just looked very grainy. And it just didn't look as beautiful as the game could have been. I don't know if that's my experience or if it's just a Cyberpunk 2077 thing, but that's how it looked like to me. And then obviously the bugs, the bugs would happen at like, the bugs are just weird. Like, sometimes you'll just be running around and see no gun in my hand, and I'm like, okay, what do I shoot? Or sometimes, right, this is when I knew this game was broken, right? I was getting immersed in the game and I was like, ooh, motorcycle, let me try it. And then I was driving the motorcycle, I was like, damn, I'm enjoying this. And I was just taking it in, enjoying Nice City. Next thing I tried to go down like some stairs and I just stopped in midair. And I was just like, nah, maybe I'm just being crazy here. I can't stop in midair. Then I drove back, reversed, and I drove forward again. I stopped in midair again. And I was like, no, stop it. Like, stop it. There's no way. Stuff like that would just ruin my immersion. Like, every time I try to delve myself into this game and enjoy the living daylights out of the game and just be immersed in the world, stuff like that will just happen. I'm like, seriously? Like, there was one time when I was in a car, right? And I was meant to go with someone in the passenger seat, and I died, right? I died in one of the missions. This was one of the ones where, like, legit, like, loads of them were killing me, and I stupidly went with a blade, even though I ended up winning by doing that. But anyway, so when I reloaded in the driver's seat where the NPC was, and my face was merged onto hers, and I could see her teeth and everything, and man, just stuff like that, it just ruins immersion. And you can't, like, the whole point of this game is to be immersed in this world. That's why you have first person and everything, and to be fair, it does a good job in doing that, but you can't do that when glitches like that happen. And also, like, crashes, oh my god, the crashes annoyed the living daylights out of me. Even at the credits, this game crashed. And the credits, right, is actually really good. Like, they're telling you, like, emotional messages at the end, and I'm like, oh my god, the game crashes. And I'm like, that's pretty much my experience with Cyberpunk. I get blue-balled into thinking that this game is actually really good, and then next thing you know, it just fails on me in one of those regards. So the main problem I have with this game, even though the RPG mechanics and all that isn't that good, I still would have thought if this game had no crashes, right, and was the PC version, right, that came out on all consoles. Well, not exactly a PC version, because I know PC is the most powerful thing, but basically PC-looking version, because to get that look, it's possible on PS5. Let's be real, it's possible. If I got that, right, or at least just a little bit lower than that, right, and it worked fine, no crashes, no bugs, I would have said, all right, this game is a great game. Like, this is pretty fantastic. I love it. Like, even with the RPG mechanics not that great and the story is not that great, the game world and everything around it is pretty damn good. Even though the combat is not that great, like, everything else around it is really damn good, and Night City is very immersive. I would have been like, cool, 8.5, great game. All right, cool, let's call it a day. Even though it's not the 10 out of 10 I wanted, I would have been like, yeah, sure. But because the game kept on crashing at the worst times. It's always at the worst times. It's always when I'm like going to my next mission, the game will just crash. Or when I'm in my mission and I'm getting into it, the game will crash. Like, it's just all the freaking time. And it's just so annoying because I want to love this game. I do, but I can't because of stuff like that. And because the game isn't even that great. Like, in all honesty, it's not that great. It's fun. It's really deep in terms of the world. I'll give them credit for that. It can look beautiful. The combat can be fun, but it's not great. It's not that great of a game, in all honesty, including the bugs inside of it. It's not that great. So because of the bugs, because of the technical issues, because of the combat not being that great, because of the RPG mechanics not being that good, even though the story is good and the characters are awesome, man, I have to give this a rating of a 7.5. And it's such a shame because if this game worked right and it had some better, it basically, this game had potential. This game had potential and it didn't live up to it. That's the problem. Because Cyberpunk, right, the concept is very, very, very good. Very good. Every concept is very good. The execution of a lot of them, that's my problem. That's my problem. And the fact that they're able to ship this game and charge us $60 for, this is the buggiest game I've ever played in my life, by the way. Buggiest. I've never had a game that's crashed on me multiple times. Like, the only time I could think of is what? One of the FIFAs, and that only happened like once or twice in my whole entire FIFA playing career, FIFA playing like year, right? This game has crashed on me at least 10 times, at least, probably like 15. It's ridiculous how many times this game crashed on me. Like, I've never experienced something like this, and I can't. And to be all honesty, to be honest, right? This could have been avoided. That's what annoys me the most. This really could have been avoided if they just delayed the game. What was the business decisions in CD Projekt Red? What were the business guys thinking? I don't understand why you release a game like this. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, 7.5. That's the game. It's a very good game. Like I said, it's a very good game. It's not a great game. It's not an amazing game. It's a very good game. And some people will come out of it and say, okay, this was amazing. This was one of the best games I've ever played. This is great. This is great. But because of just all the little nitpicky things I could just think of, and the crashes and the bugs especially, I can't, because this game could have been something more. And to be honest with you, with the amount of love and care that you could see they put into Night City, this game should have been more, in my opinion. So yeah, maybe I would have given it a 9 if it was actually running smoothly like the PC version and everything just worked. But I guess we'll never know. But anyway, that's my non-spoiler stuff talked about. It was basically more of a rant than a review, let me not lie, because I just wanted this to be something special, man. And this is probably a life lesson to all us gamers, that we shouldn't overhype things before it comes out. And also, we shouldn't overhype a developer that's only had one masterpiece. Like, let's be real, even though Witcher 1 and 2 might be incredible games, I've never played them. I've never heard of them before Witcher 3. There's reasons why. So... now, I don't know how Cyberpunk is... Oh, God. Cyberpunk, man. Cyberpunk could have been, like, the next big franchise, and it had it all there. It had it all there on a plate, and it just failed. It's such a shame, man. Anyway, next section is the CD Projekt Red rant about their business decisions and why they were wrong, and then after that will be spoiler review. But anyway, if you're gonna end at this point, thank you very much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more on pop culture entertainment. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you in a bit, or I'll see you soon. All right, bye. Okay, I want to talk about CD Projekt Red controversy, because I haven't talked about that yet. And all I can say is this is such a cluster F of a situation. It's a cluster F, and in every single way. Because first things first, right? CD Projekt Red had been delaying the game, and we all understood this. Like, it was annoying some people sending death threats, which is very messed up. I don't believe in that. That's really weird, by the way. But we understood that CD Projekt Red had to delay the game in order to make the game better. We were like, all right, cool. Do you know what? It's CD Projekt Red. They made The Witcher 3. There's a reason why they have to do this. It's okay. It's fine. Like, delay the game. But then, a week before the game comes out, reviewers are like, what's going on? Like, this is meant to be a big open RPG, and they don't have the review codes. And I think they got it like maybe a day later or so. So that's when they got the review codes. But the review codes was only for PC. Now, obviously, I didn't think anything crazy about this, because I was like, all right, PC is like the optimum thing that they probably wanted to play on. That's why. So I'll get to that bit in a sec. But basically, what happened was the reviewers played the game, said it was buggy, played it on PC, and all of them were like, you know what, it's buggy, but it's great. And it's kind of amazing, in fact. So, boom, 9s out of 10s, 8s out of 10s, 7s out of 10s. I don't think anybody gave this a 10 out of 10, now I think about it. And I was shocked when I woke up the morning of the review and I saw, like, no 10s, and I was like, rah, what happened to Cyberpunk 2077? But anyway, so, yeah, they all got 9s, 8s, or whatever, and that's how the game got reviewed. Now, after that, right, it came out that the reviewers said that Cyberpunk, like CD Projekt Red said that you can only play, they only gave the PC codes, and they also said that you cannot take gameplay from the review, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever heard a company say you cannot take your own gameplay and put it in the review. So you could only use the stock footage from CD Projekt Red, which is weird. And they said that you could only start using your footage on the 9th, which is when the game came out on PC. Interesting. So they were saying that it was not, there was basically not, you're not allowed to show your footage, which is weird. because I don't think ever any other games have done that. But anyway, we move, right? We move. Reviews comes out, game comes out. Everyone's playing the game on PC. They're all having a time of their lives. They're all like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun. It has bugs and it crashes, but it's fun. We're all having fun. Next thing you know, the game comes out on PS5, basically PS4 and Xbox Series X, and PS4 and Xbox One, and everybody else plays it on respectively PS5 and Series X and all that. And that day I was playing the game, I'm like, all right, it's buggy, it's weirdly buggy, and I got bugs very quickly, by the way, very, very quickly into the game. I think like one of the cars just looked weird, but in the nomad section. But anyway, I got it really quickly. But I said, you know what? The game's fun, so let's just keep on playing. Next thing you know, I heard that the PS4 and Xbox One version just looked like utter garbage. And it's weird because before that, one of the reviewers were like, oh, this game is very buggy on PC. I wonder how it's going to be on consoles. And I was thinking to myself, nah. Like, this can't be that bad on consoles. Like, we're going to get day one patch, 50 gig day one patch. This is why they were fixing the game. Like, nah. It's only on PC that they had these problems. And it was like before they had the patches. There's no way. And the PS4 and Xbox One came out and I was like, whoa. like I thought my game was buggy. Jesus Christ. I don't know what happened with them. So, yeah. I'm laughing, but this is horrible. Because CD Projekt Red, right? They didn't show any gameplay for PS4 and Xbox One all the way through the promotional period. When you think about it, they didn't show it once. They only showed it on PS4 Pro and PS5. They never showed it on base PS4. And none of us ever clocked this because we were thinking, oh, it's Cyberpunk, it's gonna work everywhere. It's CD Projekt Red, we all trust them. No one ever thought that the drop would be so horrible in the way that it was. And yeah, because it's kind of deceitful from CD Projekt Red. Because CD Projekt Red, why on earth would you hide the fact that, number one, the PC players can't show gameplay for the review so that everybody will get 9s and all that so they can get their sweet reviews? Number two, why would you not show console gameplay at any point? And to be fair, why didn't we question that? But anyway, we probably just had blind faith, that's why. But yeah, why did they show console gameplay at any point? And now, obviously after this came out to light, CD Projekt Red came out with a statement and said, oh, we're sorry, we didn't focus on the console game like that, and something, and I'm like, what the hell? And they were asking him, saying, oh, refund at this place, and we're all like, what? So basically, this looks like CD Projekt Red lied for pre-order money. That's what it looks like, because they made their development cost back. Well, they did until now. I don't know what's happening now, because people are returning their games, but they made the development money back. And then it's just bad because CD Projekt Red looks so deceitful. I've never seen even EA do something this bad. And this is the worst thing I've ever seen a game company do, because you lied to gamers. You lied to gamers and you sold them a game that doesn't work. Because on PS4 and Xbox One, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, it kind of works, but it is basically not a $60 game. That game is a PS2 looking game. Like, it's that bad. So, yeah, they lied to us, and it's weird because we all thought CD Projekt Red were the golden boy, the golden child, because CD Projekt Red gave out Witcher 3, made it better, it was one of the best games ever, then also gave us free DLC, gave us DLC that was cheap, that was really expansive, and then also they were basically saying, yeah, we support single player games are here to stay. We were like, yeah, CD, woo! Like, we were also like praising them to high heavens. We were like, yeah, CD Projekt Red, they can't do anything wrong. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Man, what can I say about this? This is a bunch of things I need to say. Number one, CD Projekt Red, I don't know how they come back from this. I don't know how, because even if you release Witcher 4, everyone's going to be like, even, like, everyone will be like, seriously? Like, I don't know if I trust you anymore with Witcher 4. And, yeah, because of what happened with this whole fiasco. I think no one will pre-order their games anymore from CD Projekt Red. They'll just wait until the game comes out. And if people have tested it and it actually works fine, then we'll be, all right, yeah, let's play Witcher 4. And then on top of that, this completely ruins the Cyberpunk brand. This brand, Cyberpunk could have been the next big thing. Like, it really was. They even had, like, They had their merch selling. They had the anime going. They had everything going for this. Even the multiplayer. What happens to the multiplayer? What happens to the multiplayer? Because who the hell wants to play the multiplayer? Especially with the combat that's not that good. In all honesty, the combat's not that good. So who the hell wants to play that as a multiplayer? You see what I mean? Like, there's just so many problems that this game dropping early has just caused. So many. And it's such a shame because I could see that with the developers, they were having love and care into this project. Like, they really believed in Cyberpunk 2077, but it seems like it was business decisions that just ruined this game. It ruined the game. Like, this game should not have come out this year. This game should have come out in 2022, in my opinion. People will be like, oh, 2021. Nah, 2022. That's when this game should have come out because it would have had more time to just refine it. Plus, here's a big kicker, right? After all that crunch, that everyone was like, woo, crunch? I don't know about crunch. But after all that crunch, the game came out the way it was. Damn. All I can say is I feel bad for the people who work there. I just feel bad because, damn. Like, for real. But yeah, I don't know how CD Projekt Red comes out from this. Another thing is, Game of the Year 2021 Game Awards. This game, I was, before the game came out, I was always thinking, oh, this game will easily win Game of the Year 2021. Like, I mean, or 2020. It's easy. Like, it's Cyberpunk 2077. Like, it ain't winning. I'll be surprised if it's nominated. It probably will be nominated because I bet you that CD Projekt Red they'll try and fix some things and they'll make it better and they will all end up saying, do you know what, great game. But I don't think this game is winning Game of the Year at all, especially if Breath of the Wild comes out next year. I doubt it. So I don't know what they're gonna do about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my round on CD Projekt Red over. CD Projekt Red, do better. Do better. That's all I can say. And it's such a shame because we used to love you, but now we probably hate you. I don't hate you. I'm disappointed in you. That's a big difference. But now I know that I shouldn't hype up some games to high heaven. Like, this is a real life lesson. But that's pretty much it, really. All right, let's move to the spoiler section. I'm tired of talking about this. Let's move. All right, spoiler section. All I want to talk about is just my life path and how that went, pretty much. That's all. So how I played the game was I played as a nomad, and then with the nomad section or the nomad portion of the game, what I did was I just went through most of the story, and then how I ended the game was that so how the end game ends, basically you have a choice between whether you should let Johnny take over your body and help you, or you should go and follow Hanako's plan to take over Arasaka, or if you've done any of the side quests and you made someone your friend, they can help you out. And how I did it was, because I was a nomad and I was V the nomad, right? I played the side quests I played the most was Panam's side quest and Judy's side quest, but I never finished Judy's side quest. I don't think I got that far in it. But Panam's side quest I completed that. And my V was a nomad. So I looked at the three options I had, which was help Hanako, let Johnny take care of it, or Panam basically can come and help me. That was what my three options were, because they said, oh, call Panam. This was what was cool about the game. See, I wish there were choices like that throughout the whole game, but there weren't, so we'll never know. But anyway, those choices were pretty cool. So how I thought about it, okay, I thought about it in kind of a lazy aspect, because I thought about it like this. If I ever replay this game, do I really want to do Panam's side quests all over again? No. So I'm going to go with Panam. That's how I looked at it, because let's be real, with Street Kid and with Corpo, you're going to get the same Hanako and Johnny Silverhand options. You're going to get them. I mean, you're going to get all the options the same, but I cannot be bothered to go through Panam's whole side quest all over again. And to be fair, because my V's a nomad and Panam is a nomad, let's go with the nomad option. Let's enjoy the family and all that. And I was really happy with my ending. I really like the way it went through, because, well, okay, there's a little bit of the ending, but I like the way that V realized that, oh, in Night City, you want to be who you want, but maybe you just need family, like how I had before. I really liked the way that just ended. That just made perfect sense for my V. I was just like, all right, cool. I picked the right ending here for a nomad V. And even Panam is, you know, the GOAT, the best girl in the whole game. Like, I wish Panam was real, because Panam is definitely, like, I was talking to Judy, trying to make V like Judy. I was like, all right, GV, we're going in for Judy. Let's go romance Judy. Next year, Panam came in, and you know, Andy, in, like, I think in Toy Story 1, when he gets Buzz and he drops Woody and he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's how I felt about Judy when Panam came into my life. Like, Panam came in and I was like, oh. I'm like, nah, Judy, bye. So yeah, I completed all the Panem side quests. Like every time Panem called, I was like, "Yep, I'm going. Let's go, let's go." But yeah, so I completed all Panem's side quests, and it just made so much sense as a nomad because Panem was that type of person who was going to Night City after leaving the Nomad clan as well because she wanted to find herself, and then seeing V and Panem have the same type of dynamic and trying to come to a conclusion about maybe nomad life is the better life for them because they care about their family. That was really interesting. That was really, really interesting. And I just felt just more complete with that ending because of it. But yeah, there was an ending. There was, even after that and you finished the mission, there was 2 endings I got. So it was either follow, because Alt is freaking, she's kind of half useless, half useful. She's useful because, all right, cool, she saved V, but she's so useless because V for 6 months? Like, bro, I was like, come on, man. I was like, oh, seriously? Like, you're the all-powerful netrunner. Why is V have to suffer like this still after all this? And then what annoyed me the most is, like, Saul died. So Saul died, and I was like, damn, this is the leader of the Articanos. He's dead, and just for V. And I was like, oh my god. And other people died for V, and I was like, yeah, man, okay, this has to pay off now. And when Alt was like, oh, you can either live 6 months in your body, or you could join the Cyberscape, I think was what it's called, and join Alt and everybody else and let Johnny stay in your body because your construct was too much merged with Johnny. I was like, seriously, Alt? Seriously? And I at first I thought maybe I should give Johnny my body, but I was like, what's the point? Because what will happen is Johnny will be free and have fun, but Panem will be disappointed, and we all love Panem, or I love Panem. I don't know about you guys, but I freaking love Panem. So I was like, no, I'm going to live these 6 months as the happiest 6 months of my life, and I'm not going to give up the body to Johnny. I'm sorry, I'm not. And I was really tempted to, because that's how good the interactions between V and Johnny were. Like, I really, really, really felt for Johnny. I wanted Johnny to just be happy, man. But Johnny's already dead, and he already said, you know what, I'm going to save you and all that. So I just felt like this was just the better option. Like, V will die eventually in 6 months, but let V enjoy himself for those 6 months. My only not disappointment, but the only thing that was sad was that even when GV had Panem and was out, Panem was busy because she was the chief. So V didn't get all the time with her, which is such a shame. So I believe V pretty much died without, he had his time with her, but like what I wanted was any time he had with her, let him savor it. That's what I wanted, and I'm happy with that ending. So I'm curious to see what other endings there are. I'm only going to play this game when it's I'm gonna return it. Let me not lie. Sorry, CD Projekt Red. I'm gonna return it, and I'm gonna use it to buy better games. But my only I'm gonna buy it back eventually when it's cheap and fixed, or just fixed even. I don't mind. So I am curious to see what the other endings are. I don't feel like I want to just watch them. I don't want to actually play the game because there's so many possibilities for the endings that you have. I think my next one, I'm gonna go with Johnny Silverhand and go guns blazing and see what happens. But the problem is, I feel like we'll still have Alt. So that at the end of the day, it's still going to be useless. So I don't know. Maybe I should just help Hanako. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I next play it, in a year from now or something. But anyway, that's my spoiler talk about Cyberpunk 2077. That's all I really want to say. It's just my life path. I don't really have all the gripes I had. I've spoken about in my 20-minute run. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more on pop culture and entertainment. Have a good day. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.